Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're en route to get the 6,000 mile service done on the old Gale. So I just thought I'd take a bit of time to talk about what it's been like to own this motor for, well, I got the bike at 800 mile from Yamaha. It was an ex-demo bike. I think they used it to tour around shows and events and whatnot, and it's like a little tri-bike. So done a fair few miles on it now since January. It's coming up to 6,000. So on my way there, I'll talk about the bad things, and then once I've left, I'll probably talk about the good things and things I'm quite neutral about, that some people I've seen have had gripes about, but I don't. Well, I can relate a little bit, but I'm not fully convinced it's such a bad thing. So starting off on the bad things. It's a hard bike to find bad points on, really, so I'm really nitpicking. I changed the 15 tooth sprocket I changed it to a 16 tooth just to give the bike a little bit more legs in the gears, because I don't necessarily do constant road riding. I like to, pretty much all of my road riding results with going on a lane of some kind. But I changed it to a 16 tooth just to get a little bit more legs out of the gears. Just makes it a little bit easier if you sat on motorway, or even pulling out of junctions in first. You just get that little bit more time to manoeuvre rather than thinking about manoeuvring and changing gear at the same time. I definitely think it's worth the change. It doesn't make that much of a difference off-road, and I've not noticed it. The bike still does everything I need it to do. It doesn't cause me any hassles or anything like that, and I think it was about 20 quid to get it done, or 22 quid to buy the new sprocket. I think MT-07s have a 17 tooth, but that'd just be far too much for off-road riding, in my opinion. The ABS button. Oh, why is there not an ABS button just to turn the thing off? Why do I have to go into menus? It's an off-road bike. It should be like easy access. It's easy access to turn it back on. Why couldn't they just have a button to turn it off, man? It'd make life so much easier. That's probably my biggest gripe about this bike, is just having, every time I turn the bike off, turn ABS off, and I always forget. I need a little sticker somewhere, a little post-it note on my dash saying ABS, turn it off. The handlebar grips are standard, very, very firm, like just a solid plastic material. So before I changed to these heated grips, they were very difficult to hold on to. That was one of the first things I changed, and because I was riding the bike through all of winter, so I definitely needed some heated grips on. I don't care how good your gloves are, unless they're heated gloves. In this country, you need heated grips. This is my first bike with heated grips, and I will not, if I can ever have heated grips on a bike, I will do. Another big one is probably the reserve. So this is a 16 litre fuel tank. Reserve light comes on. So alright, when I first got the bike, reserve light comes on, go get some petrol. Put petrol in, and it's like putting in 4 litres of petrol. So I've got 4 litres of fuel left, and my reserve light's flashing. I just think that's very premature. Like, to me, reserve is probably 20 miles, 30 maximum. But this thing, I've read people doing 60, 70 miles on reserve. That's not reserve, that's good, that's proper fuel, There's no need to worry when you've got 70 miles, 60 miles of fuel left. I think the most I've had out of a reserve is about 45, 50, and I was sweating. So, but I think for bad points, that's probably my biggest gripes. I'll talk about my neutrals. I reckon my neutrals are probably stock seat. Don't think anything's wrong with it, to be honest. I've sat on this bike for 9-10 hours a day. Yeah, I've had a little bit of a numb backside, but nothing crazy. People saying they can't do an hour on the stock seat, like, come on, man. I don't care what bike you've got. If you're riding on it for 9-10 hours a day, then it's gonna cause you a little bit of drama. So yeah, no dramas on the seat for me. And I've got a bony ass, trust me. Foot pegs do everything they should do. Put on there. Not really felt any slippage on the foot pegs. I feel like they're wide enough. They've got good grip on the bottom of my boots. I mean, I ride with motocross boots on, so the bottom of my boots are flat to grip into the foot pegs. Not really had any dramas with that, even when they've been a bit wet. I mean, you can take the rubbers off it. I'm tempted to do that now we're going into winter and it's getting a bit wetter, because I don't want to risk my foot slipping off, but I've never really had any dramas really. So yeah, foot pegs. Screen, I put an adjustable screen on it for a little bit, and then it didn't really make any difference for me. I'm a tad over 6 foot, and I find that the screen is adequate for my height and how I sit on the bike. What else is stock that I don't mind? Oh, the handguards. I don't know how much Barkbuster handguards are, but I'm not paying for them unless these break, and these are very flexible, so I don't see why they would. I've never had a drama with trees or branches bashing into my hands, or even when I've fallen off. Just have to, they do bend a little bit, but I can't justify putting the Barkbusters on there for no reason really. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like trick stuff, but nah, I'm not that bothered. I can leave it. I think the next thing I'll probably buy for these, if I ever break them, is the foldable mirrors. I think you can buy a decent pair off Amazon for about 30 quid. So I might buy some of them at some point, but I'm not too sure. We'll see what happens. Bit of mist in the valley. I think that'll just about cover it for my gripes and my not so bothered about. So I'll tune back in when I finish the service this morning. See you then. Yes, Padgets. $6,000 service done. 2 hours it took. Can't complain at that. They said it'd take 2 hours. It was 2 hours. As expected, the bike's all a tickety-boo, except from they noticed the side stand switch wires were cut, which I completely forgot, and I'm glad I did, because they were the ones who told me. They offered to repair it, but I just said, nah, as soon as I get it repaired, I'll probably just go out and break it again straight away. So I said I'll get it done probably for the next MOT. But I thought it cost what I'd expect it to cost, which was £265. It's alright, innit? I don't know. I didn't ring anyone else because I know the reputation of Padgett's, and I was recommended them as well. Obviously, they're a big racing outfit. They've been around, I think they've been around since 1958, evidently for a reason. So, oh, there's a little doggy in that car. Hello, dog. So, yeah, no, I'm happy with that. They were really nice. Give me a brew. There's a Greggs about half a mile away. So, went and got a Greggs. Not a bad day to sit and wait around for something, but yeah. No complaints. Jobs are good and keeps the bike sweet for another 6,000 mile, I think. I think the next service is 10,000 or 12,000, I can't remember. But yeah, no hassle on that one. So 6,000 miles of owning this bike. We've done the bad points. Let's do the good ones. Yep, so the good points of this bike, its capability, man. I push it nowhere near its limit. I just think this bike's so forgiving. Makes up for my lack of ability so much, just with the suspension being very good. The balance of it's very good. I think for a big bike, for an adventure bike, it's easy to manoeuvre. It gets up and over everything I put it through. I bought it for the reason of starting and learning to ride off-road, and I can't really think of a better bike. I've had no problems with it. I've dropped it, I've fallen off it. It's hit some pretty rocky stuff and managed to get through all of it, so yeah. And I didn't really, what I like about this bike is I didn't really need a lot to make it how I wanted it. The only thing I've done to this bike is put heated grips on and an aftermarket end can, and the aftermarket end can is just because I wanted it to sound a little bit more grunty. I mean, it's still got the baffles in, I'm not a hooligan. So I bought a cheapest chips end can off eBay. My end can and link pipe, I think were like 140 quid. And I've not had any problems with it. I bought it to smash up. I've smashed it up. It's serving its purpose. As I said, I've changed the gearing on the bike. The 16th tooth, in my opinion, makes it a lot more comfortable for stuff like this. I'm sat on the motorway and I'm heading to the green lanes now, but I've got about a 40 mile of motorway and it just makes it less screamy, and obviously it'd be better on fuel. What else is good about this bike? Obviously Yamaha CP2 engine, it speaks for itself. They put it on loads of different bikes for a reason. I think it's on the MT-07, I'm sure it's on like the XSR. And I think they do a few models of the XSR. Is it an XSR 700? I don't know if they call it an XSR 700. I think it is. One at lads I know used to own one. But yeah, bomb-proof engines. Which sounds unreal. I feel if you put an aftermarket end can, not even header pipes, all you need is an end can and it just brings it alive. I'll put the link in the description to what exhaust I've got for all you people that are wanting cheap and cheerful, something that sounds good but you don't want to scratch up and looks trick on the bike. What else is good about this bike? Oh, I quite like the front brakes. The front brakes are, in my opinion, really good. I feel like they're very reactive, they stop in a good time. Where are you going, Beamer? I've not really heard of any people really complaining about the T7. Just the usual guys of, oh, don't like stock tyres, don't like the seat. A lot of people change the front screen, but I feel like that's not really, to me, that's not really a big issue. The bike itself is fantastic. I don't really know much about different suspensions. I've not really researched it, so I can't really comment on that. But the suspension does what it. I mean, I can't. The bike feels good off-road and on-road. What more do I want? I could go out there and spend $2,500 on a suspension system, but why would I? For what I need to use it for, what I put the bike through, I don't really feel that's necessary. If I was going to go on a massive round the world trip, then yeah, I probably would. It'd be worth justifying the money, but for now I'm just going to stick with what I've got. It's not broken, don't fix it. So yeah, I'll be keeping this bike for a little while to come, I'd say. It's brilliant. Comfy on long rides, nip about town on it if you need to, off-road. I mean, it's got the reputation on it. It'll get you around the earth and back off-road without any hiccups. What a brilliant bike. And it's good for me because I'm quite tall. Like I said, I'm a little over 6 foot. 6 foot on a fag end, and it's just perfect for me. Ground clearance is great. And it does shift when you want it to. I'll tell you what I do like, and it goes without saying, is just the look of this bike. Those front headlights look like a Racer Boy Vauxhall, no, a Racer Boy Citroen Saxo headlights from the early 2000s. Legend. And it just looks like it is a Dakar inspired bike, isn't it? And it looks it as well. Obviously I went with the classic Yamaha blue, the factory colour, but I think, oh, legend. But I think this bike looks good in any colour really. The light, speaking of lights as well, the lights are good at night. Like, I've ridden a fair bit at night in these, on this, and it's definitely a good bike at night. The LEDs as well, like the 20, I think it's 23 and above models have been upgraded to LEDs on the indicators. They do look so much slicker and like modern. The dashboard as well, I think it looks so much better than the old one. It's a 2023 bike, it should have a digital LED style dashboard, and you can change the look on it, and it's got the menus in there, and set the ABS's and set the ABS to front on or rear on or off. Oh, just an overall minter of a bike. Well, here's to another 6,000. I think that's all I've got to say on it, really. Oh yeah, that's about it. Alright, well, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already dropped a like or a subscribe, then please do, I'd appreciate that. And I'll see you on the next one. See you later, people.